Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your old pal, Mr. Butter, coming back at you again. Today I want to get into a pickup that I am really pumped about. I was assuming I would strike out on these, so I was really happy to get this W. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's take a look at these Nigel Sylvester Jordan 1 lows. What is up, everybody? It is wonderful to be back here with y'all. This should be going live on Friday, so at this point we made it through the week. The weekend is coming up. All my kids are back to school, which is kind of crazy, but we've already got soccer games coming up Saturday and that sort of thing. And also with the back to school, it seems like every summer sneakers kind of fizzle out a little bit right mid-summer, but then just towards the end everything starts to ramp back up. And just lately I feel like that's where we're at. I think heat continues to drop. I keep going for pairs, and fortunately for me, I keep on getting W's. I actually got a surprising W on the Air Max 95. I think they call them cactus flowers, something like that, but it's the SB Air Max 95. I've wanted them since I saw images of them. I'm just real curious about the shoe, and I think it looks good too, so I'm really pumped about that. Retail W. I got a W on the undefeated EQL raffle weeks ago, maybe a month ago now, but anyhow, I finally got shipping on my pair. As I'm filming this, my pair is in Pennsylvania, which isn't really far, so I expect to get my undefeated Jordan 4s in the next day or two. So be looking for that review to come. I didn't even go for those Awake 5s, and a lot of that is just because they did that raffle on a Sunday. And if I'm being honest, I kind of unplugged from everything on Sundays. So I knew it was dropping, but I just didn't want to pay any attention to it. And I've been picking up enough lately that I really wasn't worried about it. I already have the black metallic 5s, and if I'm being honest, I would rather have the black metallic 5s than the Awake 5s. I don't mind the pink ones, but I probably wouldn't really wear them too much. And the black pair, just like I said, I would rather rock the black metallic Jordan 5s than those Awake 5s. It's just that A on the side, I'm just not sure how I feel about it. I think I need to see them in person. But anyhow, congrats to everybody that went for those and got them. Like I said, my undefeated 4s will be here soon. Along with that, I just called my Finish Line store because for the longest time they didn't have their shattered backboard pairs in yet, and that's a pair I definitely want to pick up. They said that they got in from size 8 to size 11 or something like that, so they got a couple pairs in, but not a lot. And I know from past experiences, a lot of times if they don't offer the EA in store, a lot of times that means that their shipping is delayed or their shipment to the store is delayed, and that seems like that's what happened with this pair. So I don't know, let me know if your stores get those shattered backboard ones or not. It is a little out of the ordinary for my store to only get a couple sizes in, because typically they get probably 2 pair per size all the way through, and I think this time they have like 5 or 6 pair. But anyhow, I will be trying to get there whenever they open so that I can make that review for y'all this coming weekend. But anyhow, the pair that we're here to see, as I mentioned before, I was really surprised that I got this retail W on the sneakers app. I did enter raffles for these, and I also went for them on Nigel's site and struck out everywhere, but fortunately I did hit on sneakers. I think they had a retail price of $160 or $165, and I'm a huge Jordan 1 fan, so all Jordan 1s usually have my attention. But along with that, I was really impressed with the brick by brick 4s. My cousin was able to get a retail W for me on that pair, and it might be my favorite pickup of the year. I know a lot of people are like, oh, that color's not wearable, but I really think it's one of those pairs that you need to see in person, because I just think they came out beautiful. Materials, the storytelling, all that kind of stuff. I just think those brick by brick 4s are a masterpiece. But anyhow, this one had my attention, and I love how they gave us a box that looks like a standard Jordan 1 box. However, instead of saying Nike, it says bike there on the top of it. And I also just noticed it looks like we've got a little bit of yellowing around the corners of the box. I don't know if that'll come through on the image or not, but all along the edges we can see like a little bit of yellowing, and we'll also see that on the shoes as well. Unlike the Brick by Bricks, I don't know a real definitive story about these other than they look like somebody's been wearing them and riding a BMX bike. The tag reads Air Jordan 1 Retro Low OG Nitro. And I don't know if I've ever had a pair of Jordan 1s that say Nitro on them, so I don't know what that means. The colorway is black, muslin, and varsity red. I actually made a mistake on these and forgot to change the size to a size 10. I got a size 10.5 in these, and in Jordan 1 lows, I prefer to go true to size and get a size 10. So I'm hoping these don't feel really big and bulky on my feet. I actually might try to trade these for a size 10. I'll see if my local sneaker shop has them or anything. But I'm really hoping that I can get a size 10 because I just don't want my heels slipping out of them and that sort of thing. One more cool little detail about the packaging. It has a bike underneath the lid. And I just like small touches like this whenever we get these cool collabs. I just think little extra touches like this go a long way, so I like seeing that. And here we have the Nigel Sylvester Bike Air Better With Time.
That's a nice ride.
By now, everyone is probably familiar with Nigel Sylvester, and of course, he is a pro BMX bike rider. He has actually been signed with the Jordan brand for quite some time, and I think the first shoe that he released with them was a Jordan 1 High. That was actually like a white colorway, and whenever he released that one, there was also a friends and family pair that had this colorway on it. So I believe the inspiration for this colorway was just the friends and family exclusive pair that came as a high previously, only now they're making this colorway available to the masses in the low form. I've heard a lot of mixed opinions on the scuffing or the pre-aging on this pair, and for me, I don't mind it. For one, it's an all-black sneaker, so that stuff isn't really evident anyway. If they would have done this on a white pair, I think it would have made them look a lot more beat. But on this pair, whenever you're looking at them, especially from a distance, you might not even notice those scuff marks. And of course, as I'm saying that, what you're seeing on camera, it might look really evident. But like there on the mudguard, on the toe box, it's scuffed up. And then on both heels, it looks like there's scuff marks going across the bottom just above the midsole. And then on the inside swoosh, you can see it pretty good. It looks like they actually painted some yellowish colored paint on there to make it a little vintaged as well. And I know for a lot of people that's a deal breaker, but for me, I think it helps to tell the story. It helps to show that this is a BMX bike riders collab. And because of that, these things are marked up the way that they would be marked up if somebody was wearing these while they were bike riding. Really like details like that mini swoosh there on the mudguard in the front. And then the swoosh on the outside of the shoe, it's not even an overlay. It's almost just like they pressed on that sail colored swoosh, but it's just flat up against the leather on the shoe. And then we have this really cool outline effect. It looks like it was like a stencil or something around the outside of it. I'm not really sure what the inspiration for this swoosh looking this way is. I cannot remember where I read it, but I remember seeing somebody say that when Nigel was younger, before he was signed with Jordan or anything, that the swoosh would always come off of his shoes and then he would actually paint them on, and that's the reason why they did it like that. But I think right now that's just a rumor because I couldn't find my source where I first saw that, but I thought that was an interesting idea at least. If you know why this outer swoosh looks this way, then please throw that down in the comments and enlighten the rest of us. Then for the Wings logo on the heel, it looks a lot like that swoosh on the outside of the shoe. Again, we can see that we've got that stencil or outline effect up there. Then, as we've come to expect with Nigel collabs, this, instead of saying Nike Air, it says Bike Air on the tongue, and I think that's a cool touch as well. I really love the look of these, but I might be a little bit biased because I am such a Jordan 1 head. I say it all the time, but I probably wear Jordan 1s more than any other retro Jordan silhouette. I just think they're easy to pull off. I like the way they look, whether it's a low or a high, and I don't mind the comfort of them. Like, they don't hurt my feet. Some people say they're really uncomfortable, but really that's not my experience. So I really like getting a new Jordan 1, especially if it's a cool collab. And I really like these colors on here. I don't have a whole lot of black Jordan 1s, so I really like this colorway. It's different than everything else that I have in the collection, and I think these came out pretty well. Looking at the outsole, it kind of reminds me of the Lost and Found Jordan 1s, not just because of the red color, but because it has this aged effect on it, and we also saw that on the Lost and Founds. But the traction pattern is the same as all Jordan 1 OGs. It's got a pivot point in the front, Nike branding at the midfoot. We've all seen that before. Then as we come up to the midsole area, we can see that red rubber meets a sail colored midsole. It has sail colored stitching, and there are also areas on this where I can see the brush strokes of that aged effect on there. And again, I know that's going to be a deal breaker for some people, but for me, I think it's kind of cool. And also, you don't have to worry about scratching these up or marking them up or anything, because they kind of already did that for you. As we come to the upper on this pair, it's all just a black leather, and it's got a slight tumbled effect to it. It's not overly done or anything, and this black leather does feel really soft. It's not very thick, but I really like the way that it feels, and I also just really like the way that it looks on this shoe. I know I already pointed it out, but I'll show it again. I like this sail colored mini swoosh that we have embroidered onto the mudguard. And all over this black leather, we can see those scuff marks, and I think that's a cool detail as well. It tells the story that it's a collaboration with a BMX bike rider, but let me know if that's a deal breaker for you down in the comments. I really like the way the sail color looks with this black and red. And again, I like how unique this outer swoosh is, and the way that it's not an actual leather that's stitched onto there, but it's just kind of like a graphic that's pressed on. I'm not sure if these swooshes on the inside of the shoes are a genuine material or if it's synthetic. It kind of feels like it's synthetic, but again, we see that pre-aged effect going on with those swooshes on the inside of the shoe. We do have a pretty standard nylon tongue. It's just like you feel in all Jordan 1s. And again, that's a sail color, and we've got some sail piping going along the edges. And then we have that sail tag at the top that says Bike Air instead of Nike Air. These came with flat sail laces already in the bottom eyelets, but they gave us a spare set of red flat laces and also a spare set of black flat laces. I'll probably just rock the sail laces to start out in these. And then one other thing about this pair is, instead of having the 7 eyelets like we typically see on Jordan 1 OGs, this one got 8 eyelets like we see on the 85 Jordan 1 lows, or like we see on the Travis collabs for the Jordan 1 lows. And I don't know that I prefer it one way or the other. I think the 8 eyelets is closer to the original way that it was, but I don't recognize enough of a difference in the look of them to say I like them better with 7 eyelets, I like them better than 8. But I just thought it was interesting that these had 8 eyelets, much like the Travis Scott collabs on the Jordan 1 low as well. And I had these handy, so I just thought I'd grab one. This is a standard Jordan 1 low OG, and if you count the eyelets on these, there's only 7. So I don't know that it gives them enough of a difference of a look, but standard OGs just have 7 eyelets, and some of the 85 OG Jordan 1 lows, along with some of the collabs, have 8 eyelets in the eye stays. Our sock liner is a black color, and right on the inside of there, it says Jordan Biking Company, established 2017. I'm guessing 2017 was when the Nigel Jordan 1 highs came out. On the left shoe, we have a sail colored insole and it says Nigel Sylvester in red. And on the right shoe, we have a sail colored insole and it says Bike Air in red. All right, but that was a pretty quick look at these in hand. I do plan on trying these on, and if they feel really big, I am going to try to trade for a size 10. I already know they're going to feel big on my feet, so I probably am going to be trying to swap this size 10.5 for a size 10, but I'd really like to see them in hand before I make the trade, so I'll just take my time with it. I'm not in any rush. But now that I have these and I have the brick by brick Nigel 4s, it really makes me want to circle back and reach out for the Nigel Jordan 1 highs. I would just like to have all 3 of them in the collection, and I guess he's done some Jordan 4 RMs, but they never really grabbed my attention, so I'm not really too concerned about those pairs. But anyhow, let me know what you all think about these Nigel Jordan 1 lows. I think it's a really neat release. It doesn't tell a story quite like the brick by brick Jordan 4s did, but I still think these have a lot of really unique features and they look really cool too, so I'm really happy with this pair. Let me know if you all are going for the shattered backboards that are dropping this weekend, and let me know if you got a W on the Awake 5s or the Undefeated 4s. There is a lot more coming. I have a lot more pairs inbound, so that means I'll be making a lot more content for y'all. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend, and I will catch you all on the next one. I'm out.